Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on November 25th. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. We're taking a live look at Ashland from the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. We first want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at our Tuesday. And Sarah, like you said, we're off to a cold start earlier throughout the show, but how cold are we getting?
Oh, it's very chilly this morning. Lots of temperatures below freezing. Even some areas into our west side valleys are into the 30s this morning. But the coldest place definitely is areas over east side. We're seeing 20s and teens made it to the single digits in Christmas Valley. Lots of 20s into Northern California as well. We have seen improved visibility through your morning into Montague. Still keeping a close eye on some sunrise surprises though, with fog possibly developing as we do get closer to sunrise about 7:15 this morning. But here's a look out at Phoenix. Not really seeing any impacts to visibility. Roads are clear and you'll likely be seeing that for most areas. A closer look at your visibility. We're starting to see those levels drop a bit, so we'll keep a close eye on that for you. But in general for today, we'll be staying dry with partly to mostly cloudy sky conditions, and then we'll see seasonal afternoon high temperatures. A great day for travel if you're into southern Oregon and Northern California. A look at your high temperatures. We'll be feeling rather seasonal into your afternoon. We'll have 50s into our west side valleys for those peak temperatures. Upper 40s east side. We'll see 50s along the coast and 50s and even some 40s into the mix into Northern California. If you're flying out of Medford today, don't expect to see any huge major travel impacts. High temperature, like I just mentioned, into 50, we'll be dealing with clouds at time. Shouldn't be impacting your travel. Only place you'll be heading into is Seattle. We'll be seeing some heavy rain, but in general, we'll be seeing better conditions if you're into LA, San Francisco, even into Denver. Maybe a little bit chilly if you're heading into Colorado. Now, the next few days, most rain will be staying north of our area, even tracking out some snow into the Cascades up as we're working our way into northern Oregon and into Washington as well. But I'll let you know what to expect and those drier conditions into southern Oregon and Northern California coming up in just a bit.
In our top story this morning, a major fuel pipeline shutdown in Washington has Oregon under a state of emergency. Now, leaders say the move is about keeping fuel flowing before the impacts reach communities like ours. Governor Tina Kotek declared a fuel emergency after a leak shut down the Olympic pipeline. Now, that pipeline supplies more than 90% of Oregon's transportation fuel, and while Oregon is not experiencing shortages, the order allows the state to quickly shift fuel deliveries to trucks and barges while the pipeline is offline. Now, the leak has sparked concerns about environmental impacts and possible pressure on holiday travel and gas prices. Now, as crews in Washington work to pinpoint the source, Governor Kotek said in a news release that this order is issued to ensure a continued adequate supply of fuel in Oregon, and Oregon is not experiencing supply constraints currently. The order also lets ODOT temporarily relax trucking rules to keep fuel moving around the state. State officials say the goal is preventing supply disruptions from reaching southern Oregon, and so far, deliveries are continuing and stations remain stocked. And we're continuing to follow Ashland's emergency shelter as construction continues. Just last week, Ashland City Council approved OHRA to manage the shelter, setting an opening date just in time for the winter. OHRA has been chosen for their experience overseeing the city's designated camping area. OHRA and the city of Ashland say they hope they can expand the weather shelter to operate 24 hours and with more resources.
So our idea with the winter shelter is to come in and prioritize the people on the nightline. And then as we're finishing up the season, keeping rooms open as people are leaving the Aura shelter and prioritizing people coming out of 2200.
The city purchased the land with grant money back in 2023, and with construction nearing completion, the shelter is set to open on December 1st. And we're continuing to track changes in Medford's leadership as the city announced an interim city manager, John Vile, who has previously served as Medford's Public Works Director. He'll begin as interim city manager today, and this comes after current city manager Rob Beald announced his sudden resignation last week, with yesterday being his last day. Vile was selected for his more than 3 decades of public service experience in Oregon, including with Jackson County and the Oregon Department of Transportation. And moving into a developing story, the Oregon Department of Agriculture is announcing new rules for equine facilities in response to concerns about a deadly horse virus that's impacting multiple states. Now, these rules are leading the Jackson County Expo to implement a new check-in process to allow safe operations in this process. Individuals can sign up for personal riding sessions at the gate to the Isola Arena for closed group practices. The practice organizer must complete a check-in form and turn it in to the Expo operations. The Expo says check-in procedures will help monitor hygiene and health to ensure a fast response in the event of an outbreak. ODA asks all riders to stay alert, monitor their animal's health, and tell staff of any concerns. New this morning, the Brit Festival is reminding community members to only buy your tickets on Brit's website and not from a third party. Many ticket resellers like StubHub and SeatGeek offer Brit tickets at inflated prices. Plus, third-party sites are listing tickets for hundreds of dollars when shows haven't gone on sale yet. The Brit Festival says they will never partner with third-party retailers to sell tickets. And if you're hitting the road this week, the Oregon Department of Emergency Management is reminding you to take a moment to be prepared. Now, before you head out, OEM says to check road and weather conditions and sign up for emergency alerts. Even if weather conditions don't seem severe, be sure to have an emergency kit with warm clothes, chargers, and a flashlight. Although the holidays are busy, give yourself extra time to ensure you and everyone else can arrive safely. And millions of Americans will be traveling this week for Thanksgiving, and that means the risk of getting sick just got a little bit high. Newswatch 12's Danny Stepanovich is joining us live in studio to tell us more on how to prevent illness while on holiday travel. And Danny, what can you tell us?
Morning, Carlos. Thanksgiving is a time that brings us all closer together. If you're traveling this holiday season, being around crowds can increase your risk of getting sick. Here are some simple precautions you can take to help prevent the spread of germs. The biggest thing, wash your hands. That includes before and after you eat or touch your face. Hand sanitizer is okay to use if there isn't a sink available. It's also recommended wiping down on any high-touch surfaces you may encounter, like shared armrests or fold-down trays on an airplane. Finally, if you haven't been vaccinated yet, now is the time to do so.
It's that time of year where we need to think about getting our flu vaccine and consider getting our COVID vaccine, especially for those that are elderly or have a compromised immune system. And I always like to add too, don't just consider about your own health status, but think about the health status of those around you.
If you are traveling internationally, it's best to consult with your physician to see if any other precautions are needed, such as getting a booster shot for measles. And if someone is coughing and sneezing near you, try to move away from them. You can also give your immune system a boost by staying hydrated, eating a well-balanced diet, and taking some vitamin C. When in enclosed spaces like an airplane, masks can add another layer of protection. In studio, Danny Stepanovich.
Thank you, Danny. Rural Metro Fire is reminding everyone to heat their homes carefully after responding to multiple incidents with wood stove pipes. Firefighters say home fires from wood heating devices increase this time of year, especially in homes that are not up to code. This is often due to close proximity and prolonged heating. Rural Metro Fire says to have these spaces checked and cleaned to ensure they're safe. They also remind everyone to have working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. And as we enter Thanksgiving week, we're not only tracking holiday travel, but how communities have been coming together to make this year special. And Thanksgiving spirit is in full swing at one local restaurant, and Newswatch 12's Oscar Rodriguez went there as they prepared 1,000 meals to give to people in need. And they say this is just the beginning.
Restaurant Black Barn is cooking up something special for this Thanksgiving week. Black Barn will be making 1,000 meals and distribute them to local community support groups to give them to people in need. Owner Nathan Trivers said this is the first time Black Barn has done something like this.
Lovely to have customers that are able to come buy food, but for every customer that wants to buy food, there's probably 3 human beings out there that are unable to.
Helping lead the charge is Chef Amelia Sabaldo. Today, her, some staff, and volunteers help prepare and cook meals, from baking, making gravy, and to even cutting some turkey.
I get a lot of joy helping people that don't have anything, and we have the means and the people to help us, so it seems kind of automatic.
By doing all of this, Nathan said Black Barn is in the works to become a nonprofit and hoping to provide free meals more often.
And it just kind of gave me an epiphany to do something. Not only for Thanksgiving, but in the new year, we want to create a food program that will be able to feed 1,000 to 3,000 meals a week.
But all this couldn't have been possible without donations. Nathan says about 95% of food has been donated from several organizations.
This is a good plateau of something that could actually make a change.
Now today, Black Barn, with the help of volunteers, will package all of those meals, and Newswatch 12 will be there, and we'll have to be sure to have that story. Central Point School District 6 Nutrition Services is letting families know that they'll be serving free breakfast and lunch over Thanksgiving break for all kids ages 1 through 18. No cost, no forms, just come and eat. For more details, dates, and locations, you can head on over to cpsd6food.com.